When I was in grade 3, my best friend told me that her parents said that we couldn't be friends anymore because she was Jewish and I was Muslim. A lot of people have asked me over the years of me streaming online and being on YouTube why I left Islam, and I've answered it a couple of times, but I've never actually made a full video on it, and I feel like it's something that should be addressed and talked about because it is something that I feel like could help a lot of people that are maybe questioning things or help people understand where I'm coming from. Now, I've been afraid to make a video like this because I don't want people getting in the comments and thinking that either I'm A, an Uncle Tom to the Muslim world, if that makes sense, or B, that I am trying to state that the culture or the religion itself is awful and terrible, but I can only give my personal opinions and accounts on things and arrive at my own conclusion and do what's best for me, and I would like to, in my best way, articulate those feelings and thoughts through this video. Telling my dad that I'm not Muslim was probably the hardest thing that I've ever done in my whole entire life. At 16 years old, I sat my dad down and I had a talk with him, basically telling him that I no longer wanted to be a part of Islam. I didn't want to be Muslim anymore, and I just wanted to be agnostic or spiritual. I don't really know what the word is, and he did not take it fantastic. Now, I understand why he wouldn't take it fantastic, because to him, this means that I'm going to hell. This is one of the worst things that could ever happen to him as a parent, and I think in a lot of ways he blamed himself because he married my mother, who was a Catholic who converted to Islam, and his father always warned him that that would mean that we would come out atheist. My dad didn't believe him, and I guess being faced with the reality of things was really hard on him, and it was a very difficult time for our family. As difficult as it was at the time, we have really worked on things and we have become closer as a family, and my dad at least can tolerate or understand where I'm coming from, and we have a healthy relationship. But it's definitely something that was really hard to communicate at the beginning and took a lot of time to heal. So if you are somebody in this situation or you are questioning things, one, the first thing I want to say is don't be afraid to question things. It's important in life to question everything. And two, it does get easier, and things won't always stay the way that they are at the moment, because yeah, it was rough for a bit. Now, I know a lot of people are expecting me to bash the religion completely and talk about how awful Islam is in general, and that's really not what I'm here to do. I would like to clarify first, yes, we were very active at the mosque. We went every Friday that we could go, I guess, because we did have school. We fasted during Ramadan, and we did all of that good stuff. My father prays 5 times a week and wanted us to pray when we were readily available. We were raised very Muslim, and I really wasn't exposed to the Irish side of my family, because my father wanted to raise us very much in the Arab culture and in the Muslim faith. I started this video off with the little anecdote that I did because it kind of rings true for this whole video and how I feel about organized religion in general. It wasn't until I was in junior high when I was faced with a situation where I had the choice to lie and get away with it or tell the truth. And the reason why I told the truth was because I was convinced I was going to hell. Later on, I thought about it, and it was kind of concerning to me that as a person or as an individual, I wasn't making a choice. I was making a choice due to religion, and that's where things really started to bother me. In grade 10, I had a friend telling me about how when we die, there's nothing there, we just die, and I had the shock of my life, and I really started to realize that maybe life isn't exactly the way that it was mapped out or told by my parents. And I started to wonder if maybe I wasn't getting the whole picture. Now, anybody who is exposed to more than just their own parents' ideologies will get the shock of their lives when they talk to people about what they think when people die, how they feel about religion, is there a heaven or a hell. You are not ready for those conversations because you have been told a certain thing your whole life and you believe it as fact. And when those conversations start to happen, you really start to question a lot of things, and that's definitely what happened for me. And I want to put it out there, it is completely normal. If you are somebody who is going through questioning your faith, or going through questioning how you were raised, or what you're being told, it is completely normal, and it's scary, but you should really investigate your feelings and how you're feeling, because if I didn't investigate how I was feeling and looked into things and really self-reflected, I don't think I would have separated from the faith. And I would like to clarify that I don't think it's the specific faith that really had me feeling the way that I felt. I think whether it's Christianity, Judaism, Islam, whatever, I think that there are always things in religions that are restricting and always compromise the individual. And I think if you are truly seeking to be an individual and seeking getting to know yourself and being you, having any sort of label, especially a religion, is incredibly dangerous. And that's pretty much what I arrived to on my own. I thought about it, the way that I dressed. Did I dress that way because that's what I wanted to do? Or did I dress that way because my faith told me to be modest? Was I telling the truth because I wanted to be a good person and I cared about others? Or was I telling the truth because I was afraid of going to hell? Did I pray 5 times a day because it was therapeutic to me, or I really believed in what I was doing? Or was I doing it because I was terrified of the consequences that may or may not happen? And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I was a label first before I was a person. And that really terrified me. And I thought back to the girl that I was friends with in grade 3 who told me that her parents told us we couldn't be friends because she was Jewish and I was Muslim. And I really started to realize that all religion is, especially in today's day and age, is limitations. It's limitations on friend choice, clothing choice, behavioral choice, food choice. You can't eat pork, you can't eat marshmallows. You know how shitty it was to grow up and not be able to eat marshmallows? That's ass. Was it an easy decision to arrive at? Absolutely not. It caused a lot of pain for a lot of people, and it also made me feel extremely lost. It's terrifying to hold on to something and be like, this is what I am, and then have that taken away from you. But I feel like if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have explored or realized who I was as a human being. And I know a lot of people can criticize me for, you know, things that I've done in my past, and those things would be considered haram by Muslim standards, but I'm thankful for the things that I've done in my past, and I have learned from the things that I've done in my past, and I wouldn't be who I am today if I had those labels and limitations on me. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the reason why I left the Muslim faith was for the same reason that I would leave any faith. I think that we as people do not need to have limitations on ourselves, such as religion and other things, because once you put those things on you, you shut the door on so many opportunities and you will never realize your full potential, and that's my true belief. So if you're somebody out there and you are being raised in an environment that you're starting to question, don't be afraid, because you're growing and that's not a bad thing. Anyways, guys, I hope that answered your question. I know I get it a lot, and I know people were expecting me to say something like, oh, because they're all women-hating terrorists. So I'm sorry I didn't deliver on that. But I hope that I shed some light on the subject in general, and I'll see you guys next time, whenever that is. Until then, peace.